Ooh, it's a Moffat episode again. And it's a one-word title. And I'm really late this time and everyone's telling me I'm going to hate it and... Can you fucking blame me for putting this off? That was fine. Like, what the fuck's everyone complaining about? Seriously, when it comes to Moffat, is it just force of habit by this point? I mean, yes, it was a bit rambly and incoherent, and a couple of bits of it had me sighing in disappointment and going, well, what the fuck was the point in that then? But it was tighter and more focused than Moffat usually is these days. It's an actually plot-driven mystery that offers fragments of its solution bit by bit over the course of the runtime until the viewer can piece together what's going on here themselves. That's the type of mystery I like. It's not too pleased with itself and what it's doing here that it has to brag about it, it just is what it is. Listen basically directly tells you what it's doing for the duration, whereas Extremis didn't think it needed to keep explaining itself quite so bluntly and kept things hidden. And it knew the right moments to throw you another nugget of information to unravel the layers of what's really going on here. It's sort of like an absurdist jigsaw puzzle. So this setup of a text in the Vatican archives called Veritas, meaning truth, that causes anyone who's read it to go mad and commit suicide. So far as premises go, that one's fucking gold dust to horror nerds like me. It sort of reminds me of the John Carpenter episode of Masters of Horror called Cigarette Burns, which was about a mysterious indie movie that causes people to go mad and start killing each other after seeing it. The whole someone saw/read a piece of media that was so terrifying it caused them to go insane is a well-established trope in everything from actual proper famous horror writers and everything to internet creepypastas trying to piggyback off a tried and tested formula. But what I like is Moffat's taken that idea and tried to fashion a Doctor Who explanation of it around an alien species performing tests on a fake reality as a means of practicing subjugating mankind. Extremis essentially knits together a bunch of fantasy horror tropes that I like, along with a bunch of dumb conspiracy theory things, the type of which I binge watch videos about on YouTube all the time. This time on Scary Top 10 Creepy Video Things with YouTube stock horror music playing in the background, we count down the top 10 scariest mysteries of the world. Number 10. What is in the Vatican Secret Archives? Ordinary members of the public are not allowed into the Vatican Secret Archives and no one knows what they've got in there. So we're going to assume it's stuff that they don't want you to see, like ancient records of aliens, demons, and other shit that's obviously not real, but pretending it is causes mild giddy thrills in the minds of people with overactive imaginations like you, Stuart. What I like about Extremis is that it essentially tries to make you doubt what's real by playing about with these well-established bullshit conspiracy theories within the context of being a fabricated world. And it presents some weird, absurd Monty Python-style imagery within that, like the Pope randomly wandering in on Bill's date, or Nardole and Bill discovering this Crash Bandicoot-style warp room with gateways to important locations on Earth like the Vatican, the White House, or CERN. CERN, of course, being a particularly important location in bullshit internet conspiracy theories because the Large Hadron Collider is a portal to another dimension, or insert some wanky gibberish that someone on a subreddit who hasn't slept for 3 days thinks is really going on with it here. No, really, there's something going on that they're not telling us. The truth is out there. And thinking about it, the revelation that you're not real, you're part of a hologram, and you read this fact in a secret ancient text called The Truth, well, yeah, that's actually a legit reason for the fake people to commit suicide after reading it. That makes logical sense and it connects up really well. That's the type of Moffat idea I love. That harks back to the Moffat that I saw in that ingenious conversation between the Doctor and Sally Sparrow in Blink all those years ago. It's incredibly clever, but it's simple, it's comprehensible, it adds up, and it was a satisfying conclusion for the episode to reach in my opinion. However, there are some Moffat indulgences that he's known for in there that I didn't really take to at all. Such as the framing device where we see how Missy got put inside the vault. And yes, it's Missy inside the vault, I fucking called it. I'm sure that showing us this at all will probably have some sort of relevance later, and it's not that it's a bad sequence of transitionary scenes cut up and spliced in between bits of the episode, but I just didn't really see why it was totally necessary to put them here. They didn't really add anything to the episode as a whole, and the main threads of Extremis are really good on their own. I just felt the episode didn't really need the whole how Missy ended up in the vault setup. Maybe he put this here because he didn't know where else to put it, I don't know, I just felt like it distracted us from the episode's main thrust a little bit. Oh, and it turning out that he didn't kill Missy, I felt was a bit of a cop-out, given the episode had basically been building up to that. There were only really 2 outcomes of this scenario, and the characters basically spent the entire episode telling us it was going to be one of them, so immediately my cynical brain just goes, it's gonna be the other one, he's not gonna kill her. Maybe I'm just too familiar with Moffat and the show in general, I guess. And I suppose these sequences didn't take too much away from the main thrust of Extremis, which as said I like, so it's not much of a complaint. Everything else was drawn together quite nicely though. My usual complaints about Moffat chucking a bunch of random shit together, having far too many ideas and not really having much of an idea himself about how they link up, so how the fuck he expected us to be able to see how they linked up, would have totally applied here if everything weren't focused on delivering us the unveiling of the point later on in the episode. Bill and Nardol's warp room, the whole shit about think of a random number and they say the same number, the people at CERN blowing themselves up. If I was reviewing a shit Moffat episode, I would usually describe the plot like I just did and then follow that sentence with for some reason. But he actually ended the episode by giving me a reason that pretty much explained all of it. I was starting to fit it together myself, but I felt rewarded when I was given a satisfying conclusion within the complete experience of a single story. Seriously, why was I supposed to hate this again? He's built on past experience. He's done what I've been asking for him to do for quite a while now. The blind zombie monks were pretty cool, even if they were mostly designed that way for the purposes of jump scares and didn't really do that much in the episode's grand picture of fabricated realities. Though they were a bit more fleshed out and had a bit more point to them than, say, the Whispermen from Name of the Doctor, who were basically just scary-looking monster face people number 46792. I was also surprised to find that the Doctor's blindness doesn't hamper the narrative at all. In fact, I'd say that the sonic sunglasses allowing him limited vision actually enhances it. It increases the tension and emphasises the stuff that leaps out at you when he can't totally see what's going on. And as I said last time with Oxygen, it gives the sunglasses purpose. It's a total fix to my complaints about them last season. And it also kind of addresses a lot of complaints that I've had with modern Doctor Who in general, having a bit of a track record of being too obsessed with aesthetics and visuals over providing said aesthetics and visuals with much in the way of narrative purpose. This is learning and building on your mistakes. I really like this. Oh yeah, and also, I'm still really enjoying Nardole. Somehow. Like, he actually drives the plot forward. And actually feels like a proper companion and everything. Fuck, this is weird. Was I wrong about this as well? Seriously, I've been wrong about so much this season. Bill's great, Nardole's actually got a reason to exist now, Moffat's built on his mistakes, and I'm still really enjoying the series. Oh god, my brain's hurting. I can't cope with this much wrongness. Must cut the wrongness out of my head. Ah, no! So yeah, overall, yeah, I didn't think this was a massive step down like lots of people did. Yeah, Series 10 is still good. Shut it, haters. You are obviously just jealous of Moffat's massive brain that is so enormous that it crushes buildings beneath its ever-expanding mass. Okay, obviously I don't think that. Feel free to tell me if I'm talking bollocks here. As said, Extremis isn't perfect, it's a bit convoluted and some bits of it felt kind of pointless, but I thought it was a fun, weird little yarn with enough interesting moments in it to make it stand out in Moffat's gargantuan list of writing credits for the show. I'm actually going to remember that Extremis happened, for the better, and I don't know guys, I'm just really happy about that. Anyway, now it's time for Prediction Corner. Okay, since we're halfway through the series, I thought we'd return to my Season 10 predictions video and see which ones I've got right so far and which ones are up in the air or wrong. Of course, the rest of you have seen it by now and know for certain that I fucked everything up, but it's my video, shut up, let me have my fun, alright? Anyway, prediction 1 was the Daleks, the Master, the Cybermen and the Angels. I said that at least 3 of them would appear, but I did have the feeling the Angels would, and so far they haven't. But I've got the Daleks, the Master and the Cybermen are in the finale, so technically I'm calling this a win. Prediction 2. Bill is a human from 21st century London. Okay, Bristol, but come on, all cities are basically the fucking same, you know, tower blocks, globalization, trains, pollution. Okay, fuck it, I got that one wrong. Prediction 3. Clara will make a cameo appearance. Okay, question mark on that one. Prediction 4. Okay, I talked about Ralph Little here, and he unfortunately didn't turn out to be the king of the Vervoids like I joked he would. But I did say that he might just turn out to be just a random bloke, and all that speculation about who his character would turn out to be was pointless, which I was 100% right about, so I'm calling that a victory. Prediction 5. Gallifrey will be in the season opener. Oh, for fuck's sake! Prediction 6. The Doctor will be kidnapped by fruit salad monsters. Okay, that hasn't happened yet, but there's still time. Prediction 7. Matt Lucas was coming back. Okay, I kind of cheated on that one, but fuck it, having it. Prediction 8. There will be an episode about sentient moss. Okay, they have had a sentient puddle, so, you know, I was sort of on the right lines there, but... Oh, come on! Prediction 9. There will be an episode featuring the Doctor's mother. Okay, the Christmas special hasn't happened yet. There's still time. Prediction 10. The 13th Doctor will be played by Bjork. Okay, jury's still out on that one. It could happen. It could.